Hello and welcome back. Well, it's the 1st of December. I'm all set up in the radio room. My antennas, I put that up yesterday, and I've just got a few hours to wait. I think there is an earlier fly pass than the one I plan to record the ISS image from. And I'm going to use that earlier fly pass to just tweak everything, get it all set up right, and then it's about 5:30, 20 to 6. It'll start to appear over the horizon, the International Space Station, and it's actually a 10-minute fly pass. So I've got 10 minutes to try and record this image that they're going to send. So I've got a few hours to spare, and I thought I'll do a beer review because I went into town today to get my jab, my booster jab, and I saw this in the local supermarket. It's the Leffe Bruin or Brown, and I don't usually see this. They do a Leffe Blonde, and that's everywhere. Every shop sells Leffe Blonde, but I don't often see Bruin. So I thought, right, seeing I'm on a Belgium kick at the moment, I'm going to pick one up and try it. Now, I don't think this is an old brown like what I'm brewing at the moment and what the last beer review was based on. But I thought, well, I'm going to try it anyway. I've heard some good things mentioned about this beer. Let me just... but as I say, I've never seen it. Whoa, look at that head. I've never actually seen it before in the shops, so I thought, well, maybe they've got it in for Christmas, and I thought, right, let's get a bottle and I'll video myself whilst I'm drinking it, or at least I'm drinking one glass. It's a 750 milliliter bottle, and it's coming in at 6.5%. That's a beautiful colour. A really nice, rich, sort of amber coloured beer. Nice big head on it. It looks fairly well carbonated too. That's typical for your Belgium ales. Let's get the aroma. Right, well, yes, you've got the Belgium yeast there, but there's also a really nice sweetness to it from the caramel malts, obviously. Ooh. And there's another aroma in there. I can't just put my finger on. It's like a bit like an earthy aroma. Maybe that's the hop, but it's not as yeasty. It's not as Belgium-y, shall we say, as the blonde. I mean, the blonde beer, you can just smell that yeast and the banana and the cloves. In this, the aroma is much more subdued, those Belgian aromas. Right, well, I'm going to try it. Cheers, everybody. Oh, it's lighter than I was expecting. With the look of that, I thought it might have been a really nice, rich, full-bodied ale, but actually it's quite light, and that carbonation really pushes around the flavours in the mouth. The yeastiness has really been pared down with this beer, toned down. It's nowhere near as yeasty. You know those Belgium yeasty flavours, you get the bananas, the cloves, the spiciness. You don't get as big a flavour of the yeast in this compared to, say, the blonde. This is a little bit more, I think, about the malts. I think they've tried to focus more on the malts with this beer. You've got the caramel malts, the sweetness from those. It's a little bit bitter as well on the back end, like an English bitter type bitterness, a dry sort of earthy bitterness. And then you've got some floraliness in there. And a little bit of spice, a little bit of pepperiness, maybe some herbaliness as well. That is a really nice beer. It's very well balanced. The sweetness of the malts, they've got the sweetness of the caramel, and then there's like this toasty quality as well, like a breadiness to it. That is completely different from the Leffe Blonde, which is obviously pale malt and a lot more emphasis on the yeast character. That yeast character has really been pared down. I'm not really getting much in the way of like banana, maybe a hint of the clove though with that spiciness, but I'm not really getting those big punchy Belgium yeast flavours. I think this is meant to be about the malt. It's more about the malt and that balance between the sweetness of the malts, the roastiness of the malts, and that little bit of spiciness, the pepperiness and the bitterness, that earthy dryness at the back end. I think that's what they were going for with this. But that's a really nice beer, very well crafted. The actual Leffe Brewery has got an interesting history. It started off as a monastery in 1240, and like most monasteries in those days, it had a brewery, and that's when they started to brew beer. But it was actually demolished, I think, during the Napoleonic times, and then it was started again in the early 1900s, in the early 20th century. And they used the original old recipes to brew their beers. In the UK, I think we only get about 3: the brown, the ruby, and of course the ubiquitous blonde. But they actually do a big range of beers. It's just that we don't see them often. We don't often see the brown in our supermarkets. Maybe it's because it was Christmas, something like that. They thought they'd get something a little different. It certainly goes well with this time of year because of those nice, rich caramel malt flavours. However, the body is still very light and it is well carbonated. You can tell it's a Belgium though. I mean, they haven't stripped out that Belgium yeast flavour. It's just not as punchy as in the blonde. Really nice beer, especially for this time of year when it's cold out and you've got a nice brown ale, nice Belgium. Right, I've got another beer review to do today. I'm going to try and fit 2 in. Just to get ahead of myself, because I'm actually going to go on holiday for a few days in about 2 or 3 weeks time, and I want to be able to post some videos whilst I'm away. We're going to Croatia just for about 4 days, that's all, just before Christmas. We're back the day before Christmas Eve, and so I'm going to try and get ahead of myself a little bit. And what I've also got planned as well is a series on Samuel Smith beers. Samuel Smith is an independent, I think it's the oldest independent brewery in the UK, or one of them. It was started in 17 something, and they are very well known for their traditional style English beers. And I've got a box of 9 coming. So I thought I can do a series of their beers. They're very, very well respected in the beer community, even the craft beer world, even although they are very traditional English. So that's coming up as well. Right, well, I'm going to get back and start playing and tinkering and getting everything set up. I really do hope I can get this image from the ISS. I'm a bit unsure whether the antenna I've got is the perfect one for this type of amateur radio, but I'm going to give it a go anyway. That's what the hobby's all about. And they do these quite regularly, so I can learn from this, and if I don't get it this time, I'll know more next time. Right, thanks for watching. I highly recommend the Leffe Bruin, and if you see it in your supermarket, be sure to pick up a bottle. You won't regret it. Thanks very much, and I'll see you all again in the next video. Bye bye for now.